Nitai go, nitai go, nitai. What is this? Now we can offer from Krishna's garden. It's very nice. We can offer flowers from Krishna's garden. It is complete different. They're usually not there, but they're smelling. Yeah. These roses are plastic flowers. It's what you buy in the shops. I remember first time in the Kopfstraße, in the first temple we had, Guru Maharaj was there. And they made a very nice garland of big flowers and all these things. And they offered to him, he said, "Oh, looking nice." Then he was doing like this. They are plastic flowers. They are plastic. This is Kali Yuga. This is material world. Looking nice for the eyes, but there's no substance. There's no one offers a smelling flower. This is everything is focused on eye, on the eyes, Our world exists only in our eyes, and we are producing or imagine something in this world happen. These classes are so we can hear from Srila Siddhartha Goswami Maharaj by his blessings, Gurudeva's blessings. Fossil fathers. The material scientists think that the subtle proceeds from the gross. This was last time we spoke about Darwin. This is upside down. It is just the opposite. Not fossil fatherism, but God fatherism. Their theory is fossil fatherism. The fossil is the father of everyone. Means lifeless matter is our source, where we are coming from. Is there any logic? That from dead matter, stone, comes life? Or at least there must have been, maybe some plants are coming. But the seed, the consciousness is not in the stone. It enters to it can enter matter, but the matter does not produce consciousness. So the science believes that everything moves upward. This is incorrect. It is coming down. This is described in Bhagavad Gita. So why he can speak like this, actually? Because this science, what we are hearing now, this is just, they knew thousands and thousands of years, millions of years ago. They knew how to I have a conversation with someone who is very far away, even on other planets, persons. There's signs we have not, they are blind for this. So this sign is already was known from the saints, from these great souls. No. Okay, you see this? It's another world. So they already know all these things. What they're looking for, they want to find in a dust corn. They want to analyze for lives, many hundred years, what is the source. But they can only, because they can only what they can see with the eyes. They can use instruments, They see that there are many atoms, there are electrons and neutrons and so forth. But it is matter. But they cannot see. They cannot see the mind. Mind is not gross matter. They cannot see. We cannot see with these eyes. So they are unable to understand. The science but is given is thousands and thousands, millions of years old, known to the saints. And it is given down in their disciple succession up to this age now, Kali Yuga. We are very materialistic. Everything is very materialistic, based on just our material senses. Whatever we can touch, we can see, what we can hear, this is real. Everything else cannot be proved by scientists, and this way it is speculation, or it is not existing. In Bhagavad Gita, the shloka is said, Vidva mulam adasakam ashvatam brahu avyayam ramsi yasya parnani yastam veda savedavit. The tree of this material world has its roots upwards, while its branches extend downwards. It means the creation of everything what happened is not coming from the matter. It comes, the roots or the source of everything comes from a higher level, unseen to us. While its branches extend downward, the leaves of this tree of the Vedic hymns, one understands this tree and its origin is a true knower of the Vedas. So according to Vedic knowledge, everything moves from up to down, not from down to up. We are very proud nowadays, so-called scientists are very proud that we have discovered so many things. Now we know how it works. What they are doing with this? They are creating anxieties, they are creating madness, they are creating wars. This is the success. Atom bombs, very advanced. They know how to destroy perfectly everything. But they cannot create peace. They cannot create the understanding of what is a person. They think that body is a person. But the body is not a person, it's the matter. The person is living in the body. I am living in the body. I am not the body. I am not this mind even. I am not the intellect. All this is called ahankara, or false ego. Everything moves from up to down, not from down to up. Matter does not produce the soul. Rather, the soul contains in its own negligible portion the conception of matter. Like an exam, it is a disease. The world exists like an exam in a wholesome body. This is the Vedantic understanding. It would certainly be a wonderful miracle if stone could produce the soul, but it is easier and more reasonable for us to think that the soul has produced the conception of stone. In the soul there are many conceptions, and one conception is that of stone. It is all in the plane of consciousness. But that stone can produce soul or consciousness is difficult, ridiculous, inconceivable, and unreasonable. Rather, it is the opposite, something like the Berkeley theory, that the world is in the mind, and not that the mind is in the world. You can understand this. That the world is in the mind, not the mind is in the world. So we are creating our world, our universe, and not that we are created by the universe, by matter, by external. It is only our deviation from the truth that brings us into this mundane world. How and where that deviation begins is to be thought out. But deviation from the truth has brought us to this false area. So, deviation from the truth. Truth is truth. Truth is always truth. What is truth? We are saying so many times. Birth, disease, old age, death. So how can you change it? This is truth. And what the Vedas speak is it is truth, absolute truth. It's just that we have not understood it, that because of this we reject it. We have not realized. So consciousness is producing everything. Consciousness is eternal. This world is not eternal. This is a temporary production, and the temporary stone cannot produce eternal consciousness. Pure consciousness is an eternal subject. Nitya Sanatan. It is not a product, it is a productive. Ether can produce fire and earth, but the earth cannot produce ether. The subtle is more efficient than the gross. The gross is of a secondary importance. The soul Atma is of principal importance. So the origin of everything must be conscious. Otherwise, it would not, the understanding would not be complete. The origin of everything must be consciousness, must be conscious. And must in this way also be a person, conscious person. The starting point must begin with the interested party. The soul is endowed with interest, but a stone has no interest. Plan or a project, nothing of the kind. But there's a plan and a purpose pervading everything, and that is the important thing. According to that consideration, the characteristic of the Absolute, the original substance should be calculated. An object of limited attributes and capacity cannot be the ultimate cause. Only a thing of unlimited quality and capacity should be taken as the cause of the whole. That is a more reasonable idea. Science should realize this, so there are some who think that science is gradually trying to meet philosophy. It's up to this point something one wants to know some detail or some doubts. There's no proof that if it would have once, then it should go on all the time. That stone you wait, you can sit and look at stone, then one ant will crawl out. If we think like this or something, I don't know, whatever. The things there's no proof, there's no... I also heard in India now, they banned this Darwin philosophy, this understanding. This is not, you cannot harmonize it with Vedic understanding. And this is science, material science. You know, they come to a certain stage, but they cannot go further because they have now the instruments, or they have no... It is only conditioned by matter, by our eyes, by our senses. Yeah, this is, and then we have to enter to a plane where we don't dare to go, where the scientists don't dare to go. It is beyond matter, beyond the mental system. It is beyond all what we know. And on this plane, we can see very clearly why things happen, why, and everything is clear, understood. If we just study the Vedas if under the guidance of a realized soul, because they are studying Vedas I heard years ago that KGB and all this, they're studying them. They want to find out these weapons they used, Brahmastra, to kill people just by mantras, or they want to find out. This is their interest. But they will never understand, because with this impurity in mind, with this destroying mentality, they are not able to enter to the plane where everything is clear and pure. So they have not the tools, they have not the qualification to understand where everything emanates from, where everything comes from. This is this material world. We have. It is actually normal, because we are rebellions. We do not want to accept that everything is under the code of the original consciousness, and we are all part and parcels, and everything is an expansion of the original consciousness. And all this, what we are seeing by these eyes, is just dead matter. We are not really dealing with persons. We are dealing with the bodies. This is our level. So if you want to enter the transcendental plane, then your mind must be absolutely pure. There's no cheating on this level, because everything can be seen, everything is clear. So absolutely pure, then you come close to the source, to the original consciousness, where everything comes from. I don't know if I'm going to. I don't know if somebody can follow. Yes? When consciousness, pure consciousness, comes in contact with activities, because it's in nature. The nature of God is not that He is just a nothingness and He is just energy. He is a person also. So He has desire, this desire also in us original, not in our soul consciousness. So we are giving freedom, have given freedom to decide what we want to do. So the ideas of enjoyment is there. And we are looking, this goes in a detail, we create our own world, and this is separated, or this the our real home, or where we belong to, gets the soul, who is developing separate interest from the interest of the whole, gets covered by matter or illusion. So identify with this and with that, and it manifests, and it comes from the most subtle. It manifests into a cross. Basically, all what we can see and touch here is also only compressed. Yeah, it is also spiritual in one sense, but it is manifested so that we, a conditioned soul, cannot make too much harm to the original source. Did I touch your question? Or this is all these things will be very clear. If it would be so clear that one can just explain it and everybody would understand, then we would not be here. We would be in our original place where there is no birth, death, or disease, or birth or death. Nothing of this exists. It exists only here. We are rebellions. We want to separate enjoy. They want to become God. And this is, you will see all these great so-called leaders or kings all the time, since creation this happened. They are always fighting. It's natural. They have separate interests from God interests. So if we are developing this, the desire to work for the interest of God, then we will experience the real thing. We will develop what is peace, what is real love, what is all these things what we are looking here in this world. There it will be perfect, fulfilled. There is no birth or death or disease. You're not aging. You may be a child there, or you may be even a deer or a monkey, They have a form in this way in the transcendental world. They are pleasing Krishna like this. His pastimes are written down by the great saints in the Bhagavatam. They are all happy in their position where they are. There is nothing. Hanuman is a monkey, but he's the greatest servant of Ram. It's completely surrendered. So only what Ram, he carries Ram in his heart all the time. Or he's an eternal associate of him. But in this world, everything is opposite. Nothing is eternal here. Nothing what we are looking for, love, you will find in this world. Because it all has a beginning and an end. Or peace. In this world there is no peace. Always more. If you could walk through this on the streets, if they would know that Krishna can see their mind, they're always fighting. There's always, when they look at you, they find something. Something positive or something negative if you watch, But it's all self-centered, And on this subtle world, these things go on. The mentality, and it manifests after some time into gross. Then they kill each other. But it's already in the mind. We have this looking at him, how he looks, what is this? Or also opposite, It is a horrible world here. Oh. There's something more we are already. Some. Yes. I thought you have a question.
No question.
Yeah, we can, there's a few lines we can read. We have a few minutes. Material science is only increasing the circumference of the mortal world, but increasing the tendency of exploitation cannot help us. Science is only borrowing, extorting power from nature. According to Newton, for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. We must be conscious of this fact. All our acquisition here is nothing. Like a boomerang, it will come back to zero again. So scientific progress is no progress. It is progress in the wrong direction. Actually, the first principle of any living body is to save himself. That is the first principle, and that should be our starting point. In the Upanishad, it is said, Sattuma Satgunayo Damasuma Jyotigamayo Mityama Marityagamayo. I am mortal, make me eternal. I am ignorant, filled with nescience, take me to science, knowledge. And I am threatened with misery, guide me towards bliss. We should begin our research work in these three phases. How to save one's own self and save the world, how to remove darkness and attain light. How to remove misery and taste nectar. The sweet life of eternity, knowledge and bliss. Satchit Ananda Satyam Shivam Sundaram. This is what we want to attain. This is the real goal. But we do not know how to attain this. We think by exploiting this planet, by exploiting others or whatever, we can get this. But this is not the case. The Silamas is not very favorable to this mundane scientist. Yes, it's ignorance, They establish something and in 100 years may be completely different, But the people have eaten before. They know that the planet is maybe a ball, like round. They believed in this disc. But they were living also on a disc. What was the difference? This should be the line of our search. All other inquiries are false. This so-called scientific research is a wild goose. chase. It is suicidal. The atomic researchers will soon prove that this kind of science devours itself. It sucks its own blood. It will live feeding on its own flesh and the flesh of its friends. Material scientific knowledge is no knowledge. We must acquaint ourselves with a vital understanding of pure, real knowledge. We must absorb ourselves and others in that knowledge, remove darkness and bring light, remove misery and establish eternal peace. Science means not to extend the jurisdiction of exploitation, knowing full well there will be a reaction. By extending the space of exploitation, we will also surely be exploited. If one knowingly commits an offense, then he is charged with more punishment. So-called scientist advancement is suicidal, and it is clearly proven presently. The leading countries of the world are threatening each other with atomic weapons, the highest product of the scientists. Is it not? It was written about in the 80s. Now it's 23, it's 40 years, let's say. It was the same situations. They want to kill each other. This is our sign, the highest product of the scientist. How to kill. Yes.
Can you explain a little bit more the sentence where you refer to that we get the same and also the opposite, of our actions, like
Yeah.
like this. I understand that we also get the same as what we choose, but the opposite, I never understood this like very well.
The opposite.
Yes, we get the same reaction. So we get a reaction
Yes.
for the action, but also the opposite of it. This is being written there. And I've heard this more often, like equal reaction and opposite.
No, for every action, it may be good or bad.
Yeah.
There is an equal reaction will follow on this.
Yes. But it is being said same and opposite.
It's
The same and opposite. There is it is you were just reading this point that we get a reaction, the same reaction, but also like same and opposite, like 2 points that we choose, not only. I don't understand this.
yeah, you give an example.
No, this is exactly what I don't understand. This is what is being written there.
Let's say, I give you one example. I don't know if it fits to this. There's a pillow, very strong. So you take your fist and try to bang on the pillow with all your power you have. So there's an action, and there will be a reaction. Maybe your hand gets useless. It will break. So this is just example how it works. So the pillow is not a living being. But if you're killing a living being, By example, so many animals are killed. If whoever eats flesh is also guilty, will get a portion of the reaction. But those who kill them, they get most sincere. They will be killed next life, also in the same way. So the cow or the whatever animal they kill, it's possible that she takes the form of the, but not necessarily, But if one gets killed by a Buddha, by example, then he already, this animal, has this karma to be killed, because it has done something in her past life, similar like this. Then it's equal. Maybe next time the cow will be the Buddha and the Buddha will be the cow. But it can be endless until you just... It goes on in this material world. We're doing always making the same mistake. And it goes on, life after life.
The perception with which the living entity suffers is also the perception with which the entity that causes the suffering needs to suffer.
Well, yes, accordingly, Yeah. So I just said before that also those who eat only the meat, they also get some partial reaction for it, because by example, those who live in Greenland or somewhere where there's nothing growing, they only eat the fish or whatever they can get there. They're living just like animals, like a tiger eating a deer or a cat eating a mouse. It can also be like this, that you get a reaction. But they don't get any reaction for this. It is already a reaction. They get the body of an animal, they can live on this food and will not get reaction. As a human, we have intellect, we have understanding, if we are civilized, we can decide. We have the capacity to say, no, I don't want eat dead corpse.
Das heißt, jemand, der was intelligent ist, kriegt mehr Reaktionen.
So, yeah. If you do consciously, and those who are defending this slaughtering, there are some leaders. I've heard what they're saying, what they're speaking. For them, it's normal, They're not thinking anything, they're doing anything bad, They're earning their money with this, and his interest is to do this. So he will be definitely standing in a row. Next life, he has very close. He has to suffer accordingly. I'm not Yamaraj. Yamaraj is in charge of this. But he will give exact reaction what one deserves, one gets. Like if you bang your fist in the concrete, it is, you get it immediately. And this is perfect, not more, not less. Otherwise, next life we have to do. Except those devotees who are realizing that how this world is working. There's the shloka, Savadamam Parityaja. You surrender unto me, I will free you from all the reaction of your past. If you surrender to me, just have faith. I will care for all your, whatever you have done in the past. This is Krishna promising in Bhagavad Gita. This is a conclusion. Don't be afraid, he said also. Because we think when we surrender everything, my God, then what will come on me, if I have no control. Now I think I am controlling situations. It's just making us crazy. Let him do. He is my master. He is everything. I am coming from him. I belong to him. And he cares perfectly. You have to have developed this faith, Shraddha. But as long as we think I have to do, I am the doer, I have to arrange things, always failure. We always be some. Because I am not the doer. He is doing. I should move according to his will.
How do you put this in practice? He told me like, okay, you should, like this is, because I asked him what will please you most, and then he was giving some instructions, and also before I listened, he gave me some instructions, so how to harmonize this, like accordingly,
You don't know what instruction he gave to you.
No, like, okay, you should learn this, and you should learn this, and should go with the flow.
Yes, as it is, you should not go against.
No.
Because it will happen. If you go against, you just get in trouble. If you speculate, you get in trouble. If you let your mind become the master, then you are lost. And whatever happens, it happens according to the supreme will, the supreme consciousness. So it is not that Guru Maharaj may tell you something and then something else may happen. Then I have to adjust myself. Because Guru, in the end, he's just telling how to come to this state or plane where you can move according to the will of the Supreme. He is helping us. It depends on what state or what level we are, how much we can digest. May close here. Otherwise, Mangala saying is at 9 o'clock tomorrow. Jai Shri Param Pujapad Nitya Leela Bhavistam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Vicharya Stotra Srimad Bhakti Raksa Shridev Goswami Maharaj Shri Gurudev Nitya Leela Bhavistam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Vicharya Astota Srimad Bhakti Vaibhav Puri Goswami Maharaj Jai Go Brahmanandi Manchakalpatarubhyascha